What is up, my guys? We are back. This is Hits and Picks with, I believe, episode 59, 58, somewhere in that 50 number. You can,
15 or 16 this year.
yeah, somewhere around there. As you could see, our esteemed co-host Ty is not here. He's getting ready to welcome a human life into this world.
He created.
Shout out Ty.
He's having a baby.
And we would like to welcome 646.
646.
What up, dog?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for fucking being here.
Let's make some picks.
Let's-
Hits and picks.
Let's
to be
make some
exact.
picks, dude.
Good year, good year.
So, boys, I mean, where do we begin?
Do we want to just talk about our teams and then go into like the national championship or like the playoff?
Yeah, we could do that. Good. Feel free to start.
So WVU first.
Yeah.
Not much. Did we have an episode since the Mayo Bowl?
No, I don't think. No, last week we were off. So no.
Okay. I mean, that went about like what we expected, I feel like, with the score and everything. Their backup quarterback kept it kind of close in the beginning. But overall, I was happy with everything. And then we had a couple transfers, but no one huge besides that guy that came out today.
Yeah, which sucked in that we only have us to blame for that, actually, because we're the ones that
Right.
created chaos.
But like, if he's gonna do that again, then it's like he wasn't really that bought into the whole WVU thing. If you transfer again when you're gonna have a huge role next year, but he might be nervous about the lineman visiting this week too, because we got a couple.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we look at it from the other perspective. Maybe Big Dog didn't think he could hang with the boys.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to go to a school where he would play and didn't want to compete for a starting job, kind of like Kyle McCord did.
And honestly, with our linemen, we always rotate so many in. It's hard for me to remember like who's who.
It's crazy. They said they had like 23 tackles. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, as the year went on, he played a lot more. But we lost like him, Lockhart, I don't know. Bartlett, yeah.
But I can't be upset about Bartlett. That's a grad transfer thing. That's been going on since the beginning of time.
And he was here for 4 years. He bought in.
Yeah.
He played, but he wasn't a starter, I don't think. But he played enough, and he played well. And, I mean, if he wants to go somewhere, good for him.
And I just want to shout out the dude for the one-handed pick six.
Was that Bradley?
Yeah, number 8. Didn't really get to talk about that. What an athlete. What a specimen of a human being to just be able to run back like he's chilling, go like this, woo, pick it off, and just take it to the house.
It was nice.
It's fucking awesome. I just want to say, too, shout out WVU fans. That game is insane. That game is in Charlotte, in North Carolina. We're playing North Carolina, and that stadium was just full of WVU fans. I'll be honest, hand up. I am kind of nervous that on national television they're talking about us winning the Big 12 championship game. That one is kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Not saying it can't happen, but like I think we just need to. I think as a fan base, we're allowed to be excited, but it's very unfair to go from one season to being like, if this guy doesn't win X amount of games, we should fire him, to now he should make the college football playoff. That's insane to me.
There's only one team that is definitely better than us, and that's Arizona, as long as they keep Fafita and Mick, whatever his name is, the wide receiver. If they leave, then they're done. If they keep both of them, which it seems like they are, then they're the front runners for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone else is so close. Kansas State, Iowa State, Kansas.
I just saw
Utah.
Kansas State's hiring Texas Tech's offensive coordinator, though, so that should make them pretty dangerous on offense. Texas Tech always has a great offense.
Yeah, they're always dangerous.
Yeah. So I don't know, but 6, what's your thoughts, man? You're big football cat. Give it to me, baby.
I just think it's a good situation to be in.
Yeah?
End it on a high note. We keep a lot of our guys, and next year head in with the mostly same setup, same lineup. familiarity helps a lot. So I think it's a good situation to be in.
That's a great way to put it, Sex.
This is the best situation we could be in with like Oklahoma and Texas leaving. Like if the conference is in a good place, I think still.
The conference is tough. I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule, but I think their conference holds their own, and as long as they can show up, and injuries are always key. If you limit injuries, you put yourself in a good situation to have a chance.
Yeah. Coal Rush, week 1.
I saw, you see what John Flowers said?
I love the idea.
It's perfect. So Penn State always does the white out for their big games at night. He suggested we do a blackout, which would be awesome. I'm all for that.
Dude, I mean, I've been saying for years, there's no reason why we shouldn't have a coal mine-esque vibe to the stadium and the feeling. Like a coal rush, like that would be awesome.
Yeah, I like it. I don't want them. The one thing I would hate is if they came out of the tunnel wearing like coal miner hats. I don't want that.
Yeah, but like that's West Virginia though.
It is, but
you know, like that's like, and yeah. Now, would I love that? No, but like if they did do it, that's just like embodying what it used to mean to be a West Virginian.
True. Yeah.
Coal mines, baby.
I mean,
I think it would be sweet if they incorporated some kind of like pickaxe or in like some piece of coal.
That should,
or like the best player of the week like gets the pickaxe out of the piece of coal and like leads them onto the field.
That could be like our turnover chain, kind of like the hat and the pick.
Is it Clemson that like they all touch the rock, like you all go?
Yeah. Well,
touch a piece of coal.
we do that
we
too.
have that. Yeah.
Now.
It's just not as like
I feel
well
like you could
known.
incorporate more.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
we don't have a hill that we run down though,
No.
like Dabo does.
But I will say I want to give credit to Neil Brown for doing the mayo bath. He obviously fucking hates mayo.
Dude, he literally said he hates condiments, period.
That's weird.
He doesn't like ketchup. He doesn't like mustard. He doesn't like mayo. He just does not like condiments, period.
He's a very bland guy.
Yeah.
So that's not that surprising, I guess.
I didn't see him get dunked in the mayo, but on Pat McAfee show was he like all like in a rain slicker and had like his hat on?
Oh, it was funny. He literally
They said he was like avoiding it at all costs.
He had his clothes set up to where he did not want that mayo to touch his skin.
Yeah, he had his hat on still and had a towel like over his shoulders. It still got on him pretty good, but like
I do not think I would enjoy that one bit.
he didn't like want to move after. He just kind of like stayed there for a second.
Yeah, shout out Mayo, man. I mean, shout out Dukes. Shout out Mayo. All right, boys. Playoff games. What do we think?
First one was Bama, Michigan. The whole game I thought Bama was going to pull it out. They kind of lost it themselves, I feel like, with some of their play calls. The center was fucking awful. I don't know how you're that bad at Alabama.
Yeah, but the first snap was bad, but the other snap, Milrose got to pay attention. He's also like looking like it's like, dude, you're at the line. It's loud as shit. The first one was bad. I agree. The first one was terrible. But the other ones after that, it's like they're catchable if you're paying attention.
The one where he was looking away, it was catchable. If he was looking, he would have caught it 100%. But he was kind of looking away, and then it was kind of low to where like he couldn't get to it in time. But the bad one was the very last play. Like that, it was a bad snap to where he couldn't look up to see where he was running. It was a bad play call anyway, but that kind of like forced him into just right into the center of their defense, which is their strong point.
Yeah, that was a classic game of big play scoring.
Yeah.
Like it was back and forth, and then each time Michigan or Bama would put together like a solid 3 to 4 play big play drive, and to me that was the story of the game. I think
The 4th and 2 was big.
The 4th and 2 was big, but I'm honestly very surprised at how stagnant Bama's offense looked. I was very shocked.
Yeah, well,
It was very plain.
Very plain.
Yeah.
So once at the very beginning, they were running the ball, and then somehow they just got away from that. Like they started passing like on 1st and 2nd down, they were in a hole, and that hurt them. One play that's not being talked about because it was so early in the game is the roughing the punter, running into the punter, whichever one. Like that was a penalty,
I agree.
and that would have gave them a 1st down. And
Yeah.
they were kind of on a roll before that. So if they actually called that, which they should have, I wonder like if they would have like scored on that, and that would have changed the game a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm biased. I hate the Harbaughs. I'm not saying they're not good at what they do. They're great coaches, both of them. You can't knock that. Numbers don't lie. I mean, fucking looking at Jim Harbaugh, he just looks stupid. He looks like he has no idea what he's doing. He's always bebopping around like what the fuck, dude? But I do want to shout out Connor Stallions for being at the game.
That was crazy. Someone from Michigan should have like contacted him and be like, "You're not coming, right? Like, please don't show up."
Oh, dude, I guarantee Michigan is who got him in.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I guarantee it.
Did you see Harbaugh's dad?
Yeah,
It's
that was pretty cool.
Just like him.
Spitting image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was like
yeah.
I thought that was McAfee on his show, and he dresses up as Lou Holtz. One of them does.
Yeah.
I thought it was something like that,
Ty.
and they were making a joke.
Dude, it's nothing better than when Ty Schmidt does the Pete Thamel. To Pete Thamel.
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen that.
Oh, it's hysterical. It's like two of the same people talking back and forth to each other, and he does the exact same voice. And it's
That's
without a jump. But 6, go ahead, rub it in my face. You're right. Whatever.
Michigan's tough, I think. I just think it's their year. They've gotten close the past, 2 years, 3 years.
2, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just think it's their turn. They're tough. And I wouldn't be surprised if Harbaugh leaves on a high note.
Yeah. I think he's going to go to the NFL.
I agree with
They
that.
said he just hired an agent that's like very well connected in the NFL.
He wants to go. It's very obvious.
Well, but I also, if all the other shit wasn't going on, I think if he wins, he stays. I don't think he even thinks about leaving.
Yeah, I know they're trying to do a contract extension for him.
Yeah.
And I think this is the only year he can leave, because after that, they'll have something in his contract to where like we're going to pay you $10 million a year, but you can't leave, or else you got to pay back so much money.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick, I think he's probably going to go to the Chargers, which is going to fucking piss me off. That even makes it worse. Oh, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I got to look at him twice a year now. Fuck.
I will say J.J. McCarthy is a good quarterback. He's not great. I don't know where he would rank. If he wins a national championship, he's definitely towards the very bottom of quarterbacks that have won. I don't think he's any good.
But their running back is great.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's very good.
He's great.
Yeah, Corum's a
their
dog.
line
Yeah.
is amazing.
The
Without their
line is
best
very
lineman
good.
who got hurt in the OSU game, too.
Yeah,
I just think Michigan has what you need to win this time of year.
yeah.
Defense, and they can control the line.
Well, I mean, they have a amazing defense, but they're going up against the best offense.
I know.
And that was my concern when Washington played Texas. Texas had a very good defense, not nearly as good as Michigan's, and they tore them up.
Yes. Good transition to the Texas game.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I feel like Texas could have ran the ball. I feel like Texas could have ran the ball on Washington all night. Like, this was the first game of Texas I watched this year, but their running backs, I mean, I know they ended up having turnovers later on in the game, but the whole first half, I felt like they could do whatever they wanted on the ground. And I know, like, getting behind, you have to go to more passing, but I feel like they could have ran the ball all game if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's what my coworker Grant said. He's from Austin, went to Texas, big Texas guy. That was his big gripe. He was just like, I don't understand it. They were gaining like 7 yards every time they ran the ball. They should have ran the ball every play until they stopped them, which I agree with. I get frustrated sometimes. Like, you see it in every NFL, college. If something's working, I sometimes don't understand why you change the philosophy up. Like, who cares if you run the ball every play if you're gaining 5 yards? Who cares if you don't throw it?
Yeah. But that's not like the pretty cool thing to do, you know? Like it's not the highlight play or the big flashy splash play.
Yeah. In the fourth quarter when they were down by like 2 scores, they still tried to run it, which like I know that was working, but at that point it's like you needed to do that earlier. This offense for Washington, like you can't just keep running the ball and have the clock dwindle. Like
No.
at that point they had to pass.
I really wasn't that impressed with Ewers either. And that was like
No.
I said, that was the first game I watched, but like I don't know. I just feel like they looked so much better running the ball. And like the first half, like if he was passing, like he didn't seem confident to like make the plays. To where like Penix is good. Penix is very good.
It is weird because I've seen Ewers ball out and he just did not play.
And they have amazing receivers, like everywhere. And like the very last drive especially, it was very frustrating. I know they didn't have much time at all, but like it was just the first read, like that, like no progression. Like you look at your second read at least before you throw it and just throw it away for nothing.
And hand up, I fell asleep early because the fucking ridiculous to start a playoff game Monday night at 9 p.m. I'm blaming it on ESPN for me falling asleep, but I guess I missed it to where my colleague Grant was also telling me that Ewers got hit hard and like slammed his head on the back and thought he had a concussion and then was just basically throwing a fit on the sidelines when Art started warming up. It's like, why? Like this is where sometimes like sports suck because like I think at times players, no fault of their own, it's just you're in the heat of the game. You forget it's a fucking team game. If Arch came in there and won you the game, what are you going to throw a fit for? You're probably going to start in the national championship game. Yeah. So you're going out there knowing that you're not 100%. You got that dog in you. You want to play, but to me, it's like I want my team to win. I'm not worried about my stats. But I guess I'm just a selfless motherfucker.
I didn't see Ewers throw a fit, but he hit his head hard, and you noticed him like struggle to get up just a little bit. And I'd say he's definitely concussed. Like you had TJ Watt the other week. He was concussed for sure, and they let him back in. And then like 2 days later, like, oh, he's in protocol.
Yeah.
It's like at some point you got to be like, you're definitely concussed. Like you're just going to sit.
Yeah, and I also need to give my flowers to the Washington Huskies. Week in and week out, they're underdogs. Week in and week out, they're underdogs all the time. All they do is find ways to win. Penix is fucking incredible. It's a crime he did not win the Heisman over Jalen Daniels. An absolute crime. And I want to give my flowers to Washington because Washington will be playing in the national championship against the Michigan Wolverines, who are favored by 4.5. This game is Monday night, I believe, in
Houston, which was a big point if Texas made it. Like tickets were going to be outrageous.
Houston and NRG Stadium. The over/under is 55.5. It'll be nice. We'll let our guest decide first. Six, what's your thoughts on the Natty Championship, brother?
Like I said earlier, I think it's Michigan's year. I like Michigan minus 4.5.
Brody?
As much as I would love to see Washington win, I just think it's Michigan's turn.
Michigan definitely should be favored, but it's hard to give them 4.5, like over a field goal when Washington has that elite offense. I don't care how good Michigan's defense is. Washington will still put up points with those 3 wide receivers. Now, the running back got hurt again, and he's very good, so I don't know how that's going to play out with only a week in between the games. I'm just going to go over 55.5. I think Corum's going to run wild against that defense. He'll have over 100 yards. Edwards, he can run wild too if they actually give him the carries. Just high-scoring game, over 55.5.
Edwards plays anywhere else, he's an absolute stud.
Yeah, and both semifinal games went over too, which I didn't expect them both to go over. So I'm gonna go over in this one.
And we got an OT thriller.
Which There's no way they should have tied that game.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. So, listen, I just said it. I've done it all year. Washington's underdogs. Nobody wants the Huskies to win. Nobody wants my boy Michael Penix to fucking get it done.
I think they're going to. Most people want them to win. They don't think they're going to win.
Well,
Yes.
guess what? I do.
I'm in that boat.
I do. I'm taking the Huskies plus 4.5, and I'm fucking taking a money line because Penix is a dog. Go Huskies. Seriously, they're under. They have played. If you look at their schedule versus the cupcake schedule that Michigan played, week in and week out, Washington has played very tough teams at home and on the road, and they always find a way to win. Why would we think anything else against fucking Jim Harbaugh?
They beat Michigan twice. Or not Michigan, Oregon twice.
Twice.
And Oregon, they could have been in the playoff too.
100%. I mean, fucking Bo Nix went off against the Liberty Flames.
That was rude.
Why they should have had Oregon play Tennessee and Iowa play Liberty. I don't know how they do that setup. If it's by conference, but those were both like pretty awful games.
You want to know something crazier too that I learned today? That if it was a 12-team playoff this year, Liberty would have made it in over Oklahoma as the 12 seed because they won their conference championship, which gives incentive for teams to win their conference championship.
Right, yeah.
Which I think's great. So, but that would have been kind of crazy to see Liberty in the college football.
Which Liberty's quarterback's transferring.
He's good.
He's got at least 2 years left.
Yeah, he's good.
Did you see his fucking helmet though?
Yeah.
He looks ridiculous.
He's like real high on his head.
Oh yeah. He's like 6'2". Someone's like the helmet makes him 6'8".
I was just confused by it because at first I thought about this two different ways. At first my thought was, why is this motherfucker's helmet so high on his head? But I think it's an eye illusion, and I think it's the thing he wears on his head sits weird on his head, which then makes the helmet look like it's sitting way higher.
It might be his hair too.
Could be his hair.
He might have to wear that to keep his hair down as much as he can, and then that's just the helmet he's got to wear.
Yeah. So I don't know. He does look insane with his helmet
Yeah.
on now.
He didn't play very well the other day, but he's going to go to a big school. He was at Tennessee and transferred to Liberty.
Oh, yeah, and I just also want to just give a shout-out to my Wild Hog quarterback, KJ Jefferson, for trying to fucking take a step into my conference, dude.
It's crazy. He went to UCF. Like, he couldn't get paid to go somewhere else?
UCF is quickly going to become, I hate to say this because UCF fans are unbearable, but UCF is quickly going to become a big prominent school because they are a school that's still in the state of Florida that's not in the SEC. The state of Florida has 3 conferences right now, which is actually kind of crazy.
Is he definite to UCF?
Yeah, he announced today. But they had 2 good wide receivers, Hudson and Baker. I don't know if they're back, and they had fucking awesome running back, RJ Harvey. I don't know if he's back either. If they're all back, then they got a scary team.
Yeah, because that was the big Florida State debate. Keeping it in the same state that they had on College Game Day on Saturday because they were like, say Florida State goes through with all this and has ended up leaving or whatever. The problem is the SEC doesn't want any more schools, but is the SEC going to let the Big Ten have a footprint in the state of Florida? That was the one argument. It's like it could become a petty thing where the SEC's like, we don't really need you, but we don't want you in the Big Ten.
Yeah, the ACC's down so much to where like SEC, I think like they would think about Florida State, but they don't want Clemson, they don't want fucking Miami, like they don't want any other teams. But I think if they take one, they want to take like 2, and there's no like intriguing team to them because everyone else is down.
Yeah, I got a gut feeling within the next 2-3 years, the ACC will be no longer like the Pac-12.
Yeah, it's going to cannibalize itself, especially with Florida State doing all that legal shit.
Yeah, but who would have thought we got a Big Ten championship game, boys? Good old-fashioned Big Ten, Washington versus Michigan. Wow.
I hate watching Big Ten games. Next year it's going to be kind of fun with Washington, Oregon, USC going in there.
Yeah.
Is there another team?
UCLA.
UCLA, yeah. That's going to make it better.
Yeah, it's because now they finally will have good
Scoring.
teams other than 2. Sorry.
Before it was just all like defense and big linemen like Iowa, Wisconsin. They're not exciting to watch.
Yeah, and it's going to cause like teams to shift a little bit because you're either going to have to play like keep up or
Mhm.
your defense is going to have to be really damn good.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Say it.
Is Ohio State on the decline?
They are on the decline.
Their future hinges on Air Nelson coming in. Their 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
Or how long do you let their coach stay?
That's what I was going to bring up.
I think it's one of the...
If he loses to Michigan again, they're going to want his head.
Yeah.
Some of them already do.
But what might help him out is if Harbaugh ends up leaving. Because then, like, Michigan might end up having a little bit of a down year.
But also, too, what kind of coach goes in at halftime when you're still very much in the game? I think they were winning at that point, 3-0, and literally blames the entire situation on their third-string freshman quarterback. Literally, basically saying like, yeah, we can't really score. He could be making a lot of big plays that he's not. It's like, dude, maybe this is your fault. Like,
yeah,
truly.
And
I don't know.
Like, regardless, I'm not an Ohio State hater, but like, if you claim to like be that year in and year out, you only score like 3 points,
That's embarrassing.
like, come on.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And nothing against Missouri, but like, come on, it's also Missouri.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to put some stock into a couple of their big wide receiver recruits are leaving too.
Yeah.
Fleming, there was another big recruit they had. He's also leaving. Harrison hasn't officially announced, but I think he's got to go because they don't know what they're doing at quarterback.
Well, and I also think it's insane that Cam Ward didn't decide to go to Ohio State. He decided to go to the NFL. Like,
his agent has to be in his ear. Or Miami. Like, go to Miami and get paid.
Yeah. I mean, do you see DJ Ukulele went to Florida State?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I just think it's cool because he's trying to beat Clemson.
I didn't even think about that.
Ohio
That'll
State
be
just
good.
has the luxury there that they can forever be a revolving door if they want.
Oh, yeah.
You can go get whoever you want, and just based on legacy.
Yeah, I do wonder who's waiting in the wind though to be the next head coach because I don't think
Luke Fickell,
Brian Hartline.
Brian Hartline would be big, but Luke, dude, could you imagine if they pulled Fickell from Wisconsin? They were just like, sorry, boys.
But I don't think he would ever go
huge.
back. I think he's probably pissed at them for not giving him the chance anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy he could have been our coach.
Hartline's just a wide receiver coach right now, though, right?
I think so.
But,
yeah.
like, they love him.
Dude, everybody in college football, anytime you hear about a coaching job, everyone's like Brian Hartline.
I feel like he's just waiting for that moment at Ohio State because he could go anywhere he wants right now, I feel like.
I would say. Yeah, I would say so. I don't know. I was going to jump to the NFL, but I think if I was Florida State, I'd be embarrassed.
You should be.
I think you don't get in, and instead of turning that into we'll show you why we should have been in, it turned into, well, I'm not playing. Wah. I'm not playing.
Yeah, like
Sorry, hey, I'm not playing. I didn't get in. You don't put me in, I don't play. They're not even the team that got fucked the worst. Yeah, they were undefeated. The team that got fucked was the team that was 29-0, back-to-back national champions, and lost one game by 3 points in the SEC championship game. That's the team that got fucked. Not you crybaby motherfuckers. You lost by 60. 60.
that is crazy.
60. That's hard.
The quarterback you would have had start that game was like, nah, I'm leaving.
I'm out. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
I'm not playing because you didn't let me. It's like, come on, dude. They really could have made a statement. They could have come out there. They could have punched Georgia in the mouth. They could have said, this is why we deserve to get in. but they went the complete opposite way, and they were like, well,
And now, like, I know they're adding teams, but like, how easy is it to like leave those fringe teams out
yeah.
because of situations like that?
Yeah.
Like, if your play doesn't support it, like,
Reese Davis got pissed on College Game Day because Kirk was just like, listen, if kids don't want to play in the bowl games, we should stop having them.
yeah,
I saw that,
they
yeah.
gotta cut some.
They,
'Cause,
I mean, they
there's-
have to cut some.
There is no like, there's no meaning to them. I feel, and like with kids transferring in and out, like you never know what you're gonna get.
There's no reason a 5-7, 6-6, or 7-5 team should be in a bowl game.
No, I think Des said like 8-4. Like that should be the cutoff. 8-4, fill up however many bowls you got. If you have to take some 7-5 to fill it out, do that.
I agree, and I mean it was crazy. Reese got mad, but I agree with Kirk. If guys don't want to play, what are we having the games for?
Right.
Right.
And some of the big teams like Georgia, Missouri, couple of the games the other day, like Liberty, like those guys played. Like they knew that was a big game. They were going to get national attention, so they played.
Bryce Young played last year. Like big
Yeah.
players play. Like there's a guy named Garrett Green who played. Like if you love the game of football, but see also too, all those type of players go to Florida State because I don't want you on my team. I want guys on my team that love the game and just want to play.
And if you played with that team all year, then you look at me like, I'm just not going to play the bowl game. Like, good luck, guys. Like, that's a slap in the face.
Shout out Kirby Smart right after the game, just being like, we got to fix this. In the press conference.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, we got to fix this. He was like, there's no reason why this should happen. So,
But there's so much to fix right now with college football. I don't know what you fix first.
don't open up the transfer portal until the last fucking game is played. Maybe start there.
What the thing that fucks that up is spring classes. Like some kids enroll for spring classes, so that's why they made it earlier. But like you just got to be like, sorry, you're just not going to be there in the spring. You're going to be there in the summer if you want to transfer.
Yeah, and let's not pretend like half the shit's not online anyways.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So-
they just want to practice with the team. in the spring.
I get that for sure.
But if you transfer, they already bent the rules for you to transfer multiple times. So like you're just gonna have to wait till the summer.
Transfer portal should open the day after the national championship game and close that next Monday.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be open for very long. I don't know. They'll fix it though. I got faith in the NCAA. They always do the right thing.
Yeah,
Always.
they're good guys.
They're good guys. All right, time to jump to the NFL. I'll just start very quickly. Very proud of the Broncos for winning. I know they're eliminated, but the fact that they can finish above 500 at 9-8 after starting 1-5 is a great accomplishment to myself. And Russ, no hard feelings, man. The experiment just didn't work. Appreciate how hard you played this year. You must not be Sean Payton's guy. That's unfortunate. Don't feel bad, though, because you signed like a $300 million contract. So I'm not going to flip the script and, make it seem like you're some kind of victim because after the Chiefs game that you helped us win when we were 2-5, the Broncos told you, hey, you need to adjust stuff. You're not going to be here. I don't feel bad for you, buddy. You're a fucking gajillionaire now. Thank you for coming. Shout out Jarrett Stidham. And according to Steeler fans, a above 500 season is something to fucking be proud of. So I'm proud of it,
good.
dude. I'm proud of it. That's it.
It was kind of. I know he's a millionaire. Whatever. He doesn't need the money, but to be like, you drop your injury clause, or you're not going to start is wild.
But real quick, let's not act like that. This is the first time that's ever happened in the history of the NFL.
It's not. But if he dropped that injury clause, they would have still dropped. Like they would have still released him, and he wouldn't have got that money.
It's a business, dog. It's a business. At the end of the day,
Like, they were trying to kind of fuck him over in a way, but also they just wanted to be like, we're just done with you.
Well, maybe his contract fucked over the Broncos because they took advantage of first-year owners. Nobody thinks about it like from that perspective.
I mean, that's true, but you guys gave him all that money.
Yeah, and guess what? It's Walmart money. We fucking
is.
just made it back today,
It
dude.
is.
We just made it back on a fucking
It
Tuesday.
is a business.
You see what people were saying about the Steelers?
About Russ?
Just random people just throwing shit out.
It's crazy.
It was just reported like they could target him. It's like you don't know anything. They're
Take
not
him.
even talking about
Hey,
that.
take him, dude.
Yeah, I saw the Steelers and Vikings both could be landing spots, and I don't want him on either
But,
team.
like, there's no basis to that claim other than like, oh,
but I mean, he's
they
not
could
going to
possibly be looking at a quarterback. So why not Russ?
Well, I mean, I think they're just looking at teams that could potentially be looking at a quarterback and know that he's going to be somewhere else
Yeah,
next year.
they were just
like,
trying to make a story.
Because I
Especially-
don't think Kenny's the guy in Pittsburgh.
Well, especially when he's just throwing shade in his press conferences today. Did you see that?
Well, do you know what transpired before that?
No, I mean,
So there, Mark Madden, fucking an awful Pittsburgh sports guy. He tweeted that he got word that Kenny Pickett refused to be the backup last week. That's why he wasn't dressed. But no Pittsburgh writer will write about it. But he was putting it out there, and that's why Kenny came out and was like, "I don't know where that came from. That's not true. Whatever." But like,
still was kind of crazy for him to say it's not true. And if I was healthy, I would have started. Because, like, again, Mason Rudolph in these 2 games has played better than Kenny has his combined Steeler career.
right? I won't argue that.
Sometimes you just ride the guy who's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like
okay.
Yes, it's okay. He'll be back next year. He'll have a chance. Take the chance, or else you're probably done.
Yeah,
But, like-
Rudolph probably won't be back.
Right. But just ride the hot hand sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's about the team more so than just you.
Oh, I like that.
The big thing is, it all comes down to the Steelers did, whether he's good enough to be a starting quarterback or not, they did a disservice to him with how they ran the offense these last 2 years. Like, they stunted his growth, whatever it would have been. They definitely hurt his career.
I'm not going to pretend like the Steelers are like the Jets or like the
I'm just saying, like, Canada-wise.
I can understand that opinion and I appreciate that opinion, but also like I don't know. Like I feel like Kenny is a great quarterback, but he just never was a starting NFL quarterback. He's a backup quarterback, and I think that's okay.
That was just part of the quarterback class last year.
Yeah,
It was just weak.
agreed.
And he was the first one taken. He had high expectations. You had to reach for somebody in that class.
Backup quarterback, great gig.
Oh,
Great gig in the league.
he'd be the perfect backup quarterback. He has potential. If they get a new coordinator next year, if everything's perfect, he can still be the starter. That's more in question.
And
now.
I think the Steelers just have a lot of questions. I don't know. I think Ben spoiled us for so many years
Oh yeah.
that like we got like he was good enough. He was so good that he was able to like shift their like tough gritty mentality to like and air it out, which was fine. It worked. But I think all the fans and like everyone loves that part of the game. Like, yes, that's the sexy thing to do, but like Steelers are known for like grit, defense, run the ball, and I think they're having a hard time transitioning back to that because Ben spoiled us for so long.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I think there's a lot of high expectations for Kenny, which he should be with being like such a high pick, but sometimes like turning around, handing it to 2 very good running backs in Warren and Najee is acceptable as well. Like you don't have to be the best.
Yeah. Let me look at week 16. So the past 2 weeks, they played the Bengals first week. They ran the ball decently well. Rudolph played very well. Last week, they ran the ball fucking amazing. So that made Rudolph's job easier. Before that, they had like 1 or 2 games where they actually ran the ball well. He
And-
hasn't had that helping him at all.
Well, and that is a thing that I'll give Kenny the nod for. That's true. So again, if Kenny goes out there and they have a great running game, does that change the way Kenny plays? It could. I mean, Kenny's a good guy. I don't
That'll make
dislike
any quarterback look a lot better. Even if they're not good, like if you have a great running game, you should look like a pretty damn good quarterback.
I agree, dude. It's the running game's going to be great when you got number 3 Russell Wilson handing the ball off next season, dude. I hope you're ready because I'm coming. I'm coming.
I can't see that happening. I mean, if it did, then I guess I'd be a Russ fan, but I don't want it to happen.
6.
I don't want it to happen.
What's your thoughts? Steelers, Vikings.
Vikings stink. Injuries happen. Kirk got hurt.
Are you sad Kirk's probably not coming back?
No, because I don't think he would ever get them to the promised land.
You really think that?
I really think that. I just didn't think he's it. Some guys have it, and I just didn't think he has it.
He's the good quarterback that never wins.
Which is what I think that's Kenny's ceiling. Like, I think that's all he would ever be too. I'm not sold on him. And kind of going back, like, as awful as Canada is, if Kenny was it, regardless, you would see more than like the offense they were putting out there every week, just because if he's so good, he would be able to make the plays.
Yeah. The Steelers really messed up. They had a great defense last year. Not as good this year, but still good. Like, if you went out and got a free agent quarterback last year, which I'm not sure who's available or not, like, you had a chance to win.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do that.
I don't know. I just think their division's like so tough. It wouldn't be a bad option to just like blow up right now and just like restart.
Well, the defense is very
Getting
close.
old.
Watt's getting old.
Yes.
Cameron Hayward's already old. Minka's starting to get up there now, and those are their top 3 players. So in 2 years, it'll probably be a bad defense.
And that's, I don't know, like going back to the like getting used to Ben, like you were in the playoffs every year. Obviously, he only got us one Super Bowl too, but I don't know, just like you can reset. Like wouldn't you rather go 2-14 whatever for 3 years and then be Super Bowl contenders rather than being 8-8, 8-9?
Yes, I agree.
Like, you can sit in this purgatory for 10 years, but that doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, but if you're the head coach, you know your job's lost if like they're doing a full reset. Like if they do a full reset and Tomlin goes like 5-12 or whatever it is, like he's gone.
But if Tomlin's there, that's not a full reset.
That's true too. Yeah,
it's a hard. I don't know. It's a hard situation, and it's just like you can get you get out of it what you put in. So like as of now, they're putting out a 500 product.
Yeah,
and that's what you're going to get every
17 years in a row.
You know, like that's what you're going to get.
500 product when we lost to 2-10 teams. It's insane.
All right, let's do a way too early pick here. Who's your AFC team and who's your NFC team to make a Super Bowl run? I can go first if you don't have them off the top of your head, but
NFC is going to be Niners. I just can't go against them. AFC's a toss-up. So we got the Chiefs, Ravens, Dolphins, whoever wins the AFC South.
Bills, possibly.
Bills, Browns. I got to go Ravens, but I don't love any team in the AFC. Like, none of them are wowing me.
I'm gonna go a little NFC. I'm taking the Rams. I think
they do look dangerous with that running back.
I
now.
think they're one of the hottest teams. Puka Nacua is great. Matt Stafford's incredible, and Sean McVay obviously is an offensive genius. If Matt Stafford can stay healthy, they will be very dangerous. Honorable mention, I want to say the Lions. I love Dan Campbell and I love Jared Goff, but for some reason the Rams are top of mind. And honestly, dude, I think AFC, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. I think their defense is good enough to hang and beat anybody.
Defense for sure.
And if Joe Flacco can keep playing even average, even game manager, even if he's not throwing 300 yards, I think they are going to be very, very, very difficult to beat in the AFC.
They're the wild card team you don't want to play. I guess the Bills could be that team too. Like that, those are tough games.
Well, and again, I'm just saying this right now, knowing that the Bills aren't for sure in, because there's a chance. I think if the Bills win, they win the division, and if they lose, they might not make the playoffs.
You want to go over the Steelers scenario?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, so the Steelers will get in if the Jags or the Bills lose. Bills play the Dolphins, which they might still be playing for the division.
They are.
So it's the Bills-Dolphins division. So that's going to be a
We shouldn't
very
even be
good
in this
game.
situation.
We shouldn't. And then
And I'm all in on the Bills, so Steelers don't deserve it.
if the Steelers lose, there's also a way they can get in. So the Jags have to lose,
We have to win.
you have to win, and
the
then
Bills would have to lose again.
the Colts and Texans, just someone has to win that game. It can't end in a tie. And then somehow
and when you're talking like this, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
the Steelers, it'll go by strength of schedule or strength of wins or something, and the Steelers are up there above those teams.
I wanted to get in so bad, dude, because I really, really, really believe that if we could have got in, we could have hung with anybody defensively wise. It just sucks. But 6, you got any two teams, NFC, AFC off the top of your head? Which it'll change next week once we know the actual things. But right now,
I think I don't know. It's so hard to go against some of these teams. I think my fun team, but it's not a fun team, is like the Browns. Like I'll be cheering for them. Flacco's been playing unbelievable, and just a resurgence to his career. And the Ravens are so hot. I don't know. I think I still like the Bills if they get in. And kind of like Michigan, they've been there. If they get in, you never know what they can do. It could be their turn. And the NFC, I like the Niners. I think they're so good. But I really like the Cowboys. So
what?
Yeah.
The team that can't win on the road?
Yeah.
I just think they're going to get in their head the last game.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys can do it.
I mean, I'm not a Cowboy hater by any means. They are night and day difference.
And I will say that because Ty would say that anyways.
Yeah.
But no, I like them this year. I think that they're good. I don't know what's happening to the Eagles, but I like the Cowboys. I've liked them since the beginning of the year. I might have some future bets on them, but I don't know. I think their offense is good, and in the NFL, offense matters a little more than defense, I think.
I love watching the Cowboys. Like, I love watching that offense. It's just a team that I just don't trust in the big game.
You never know what you're going to get with them. I feel like them and the Dolphins are kind of the same.
Yeah, like I don't expect the Dolphins to actually make a run either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
As much as you want, like, some of these teams.
Yeah, like, they're exciting. You want them there, but they can't get over the hump.
And I just don't think it's the Lions' time yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Payton had a great point. He's like, if we can finish 9-8, you look at the Lions last year. They started like 1-5, 1-6. They made a run. They finished 9-8, and look how they carried it into this year. I think that's where we're at. Honestly, dude, there's one man that I'm hoping and praying that the Broncos sign to be the fearless leader of the Broncos. I think he's a Sean Payton. Great catch. I think he's a Sean Payton. Angle
that's catch of the year.
There you go. Yeah, it was a great catch, by the way. One man. I think he's a Sean Payton quarterback. I think he's a Bronco at heart, and I am praying that Baker Mayfield is my quarterback next year.
Baker Mayfield's been balling.
Baker Mayfield, or I think we will draft a young guy. Stidham will start. The young guy will not play for a year, and then once Stidham's contract's up, they'll just start whoever they drafted. I think that's one of the two. I was looking at the names. Kirk is going to be a free agent. Jameis is going to be a free agent. Baker, Tannehill, a couple other ones. Baker's the one that got me excited, but here we go. We are here.
We are here.
Last week of the regular season for the NFL. We're lucky and blessed enough to have 2 Saturday games on the slate. Once again, game number 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing in Baltimore against the Ravens. The Steelers are favored by 4, and the over-under is 37.5. 6? I'll let you start, bud.
I guess the Ravens will be resting players, and even at that, it's still a division game. I don't like this, but I will take the Steelers -4.
Who's the Ravens' backup quarterback again? That's
Is
really
it
good?
Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, Tyler Huntley.
That's who it was. I don't know if it still is, but I don't know. And also weather depending. You could easily watch the Steelers play around and screw this game, or at least make it very close, and it shouldn't be.
Okay. Respect. Brady?
If this was at home, it'd be no doubt win for the Steelers, but I think they're still going to struggle a little bit with Tyler Huntley as quarterback, which I feel like they have in the past. I'm going to take the over 37.5 with Mason at quarterback. They've been putting up more points. Hopefully they can still run the ball very well, but the Ravens have a good defense. I don't think the Ravens' offense will change that much, so they're still going to be able to move the ball and score some points. So I see it being a 3-point game right around there. So I'm just going to go over 37.5. It's going to be close.
Fair. I'm right there with you. I'm taking the over 37.5. I think the Steelers' offense has been rolling these last couple weeks, and I still think the Ravens will be able to put up points as well. I honestly, even though the Ravens are probably sitting Lamar and a couple other studs, I still see this game being close, but it's too dangerous for me to touch because it is a divisional game, so we're just going to pray for points here. All right, the nightcap is Saturday. We have the Houston Texans heading to Indianapolis. The Colts are favored by 1. The over-under is 47.5.
Is this for the division?
This is for the division. This is actually a playoff game. This is, well, hold on. I take that back. I think the Jags have to lose, and then it would be for the division, I believe.
Okay.
But this is definitely to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, you win, and you're in the playoffs.
Man, this is a tough game. CJ Stroud playing for the Texans?
Yeah, he played last week.
I don't know. I will... As good as he has been, I will say the trend that I've been saying. I don't think it's his time. I will take the Colts -1 at home.
I'm going to take the over 47.5. I like both these offenses. Texans can definitely put up points, especially if Stroud's back. Just give me the over 47.5. The game's 50-50.
I will be taking the Houston Texans +1. I think C.J. Stroud has broke the Ohio State quarterback stigma. I think C.J. Stroud is going to be a future star in the NFL for years to come.
Future? I think he kind of already is.
He's a rookie. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Look at his stats.
I get it. I just, some people, you just have to pay your dues.
Yeah.
Next
okay.
season, I can say it. Next season, I'm comfortable.
Sophomore slump if he doesn't do that.
Yeah. So Texans, I love C.J. Stroud. I'm taking the Texans +1. I love D'Amico Ryan. I think the Texans are on a swing upwards to be a dominant force in the AFC for futures to come. So I will be taking the Texans +1, and we will be moving on till Sunday. The Browns will be heading into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 5.5. The over-under is 39.
Are we resting Browns?
I'm assuming with this line. This line makes no sense to me, so I'm assuming.
I don't like this one bit. So I'm going to go that we're banking off of rest and Bengals being with their backup quarterback. I will take in division game. I will take under 39.
I'm going to take Bengals -5.5. They have a long shot to make the playoffs, but they're still going to be battling. And I think the Browns will rest their starters, kind of take it easy for the most part. So give me Bengals -5.5. And also, this last week in the NFL, it's when you got to watch out for player incentives. Like a couple accounts will tweet it out. Yeah. They'll say like so-and-so needs 7 catches for $500,000. You bet that, because they're going to try to force feed the ball to them, especially if the game means nothing. They'll just try to get that guy his money.
Great point. I'm going to be riding with the Browns here. I mean, I know Jake Browning's been playing well, played good in Kansas City this past Sunday.
Washington quarterback.
Wait, what?
Jake Browning went to Washington.
That's correct. Washington, he was the quarterback last time the Huskies made the playoffs. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just think the Browns defense is really good. I'll just leave it at that. That's why I picked them. I think defenses win you Super Bowls. So I'm going to take the Browns plus 5.5 here.
They deserve a lot of credit for Deshaun Watson ending his year. Nick Chubb went out early against the Steelers, and they're still like they were in it for the division till the end.
I agree. Very, very, Stefanski, my one coach of the year, 2 years in a row.
Which my boss is a Browns fan, and he hated Stefanski. Like, he was all for firing him, and now he's like, I mean, you got to give him credit. He's done great.
They're tough.
They are tough. All right. We're gonna head to the old Detroit, home of Eminem and Big Sean.
And Ford.
Yeah, dude. We got sixes. Minnesota Vikings marching in to Ford Field to face Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. The Lions are favored by 5.5, and the over/under is 46.5. 6. What do we got?
Well, I'm gonna ask this question every freaking time. I think. What Lions resting? Lions playing.
You gotta assume all clinched teams are going to be resting.
Are they clinched?
Oh yeah,
But they might.
What? But isn't for seeding still available?
They might be playing for seeding still.
Vikings are a disaster. I'll also take under 46.5.
I'm taking under 46.5. I think the Vikings will give up kind of, and Justin Jefferson's probably not going to be playing his ass
Twin
off.
brother Jordan.
Yeah. He can't get his incentives because he's missed so much time, and that's their best player. So give me under 46.5.
I'll be taking the Detroit Lions minus 5.5. I think, no offense, you are correct. The Vikings are a dumpster fire right now, and I think even if the Lions are playing with their backups, they could still win by a touchdown. So I'll be taking Detroit minus 5.5. Next ball game here.
Let's ride.
This is always a big one. This is always how it ends.
That's right.
Normally, this game over the past couple years is more exciting because normally how it works is one team's in the playoffs, the other team beats them, and both of them don't make it. Unfortunately, we are both eliminated right now. Broncos, Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 2.5. This game's in Vegas, and the over/under is 38.
I like Raiders minus 2.5.
Raiders have been playing very well. I think the Broncos, they might have a little more life in them after like Russ was benched basically, and Sean Payton might have him a little fired up. So give me the Broncos plus 2.5.
It's a great pick. This is a Stidham revenge game. He wants to go in. He wants to beat Vegas. I'm taking the Broncos plus 2.5. This puts us at 9-8.
There was reports that Sean Payton like talked Stidham into coming to the Broncos when he had better offers. He basically said like you're gonna have a chance.
I mean, looking at it, he thought something because they signed him 2 years, $10 million. It's not like he was making like
he's not making Trubisky money, $10 million a year to be a backup.
But yeah, so I don't know. I like Stidham. I think the one thing that impressed me the most about watching him against the Chargers is we played just as well, if not better, with Stidham than Russ, and Stidham wasn't afraid to throw passes to put the ball in tight spots to let these receivers make plays. I think that is the part that the Broncos have been missing terribly. The defense has been great. They're relying on the run, which I love, but when Russ drops back, he's not trying to fit the ball in places. He's always throwing to the easiest pass or just up to Cortland Sutton, which I'm cool with, but Sutton's out. Sometimes you have to try to feed the ball to guys like Judy, and I was impressed with Stidham, so I'm going to take Stidham in the revenge game here.
So in that case, like it's kind of not easier, but as a backup quarterback, you're going in like you really got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You can kind of air it out more, which is what Rudolph is doing. And he's completing his passes because he's just airing it out to people.
Yeah, I agree. I guess the only part where my scenario is kind of different is like Russ was afraid to throw the window slant passes. Like Stidham is just trying to put the ball in there where Russ just wouldn't even throw that ball.
Well, that was Pickett's that offense's problem for the first 12 games. They just didn't throw in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's like all Russ wanted to do was check downs and deep, which I'm cool with if it works. I mean, if an offense works, it works. But we'd get in situations where you need to kind of eat up the clock, run, throw the ball, and Russ is just like, oh, I'm either going to throw it to a wide open person or I'm throwing it out of bounds.
I feel like that shit works if you're just an offensive guru,
Yeah.
like Tom Brady, and you can just hot route people like, I see this in the defense, you run this route, and I'm just going to get it to you.
Michigan man.
Not everyone's Tom Brady.
Michigan man.
J.J. McCarthy, best quarterback in Michigan history, according to Harbaugh.
What?
He said that.
Dude, what? Who's the dude that used to not tie his shoelaces? That dude was awesome.
Robinson.
That dude was Denard.
Denard.
That dude was awesome.
Yeah.
Bro. He's better than McCarthy.
He's better than McCarthy.
What? All right. This is a pretty big game. I believe this one is for the division, actually, even though I know the Bucs can still win it somehow. Falcons are heading to New Orleans. The Saints are favored by 3.5. Over under is 41.5.
The Saints are so up and down, and the Falcons are just consistently bad. I think I'm going to take the Saints at home minus 3.5.
That whole division, that whole division is just a mess. The Bucs 1 week look good, next week look bad. I'm just going to take the under 41.5 because I don't trust either of these teams.
Yeah, as much as I want to say Atlanta for my brother and their sick ass uniforms, I'm going to be taking the Saints minus 3.5. I thought the Saints looked very good last week, so I'm just gonna recency bias on that one. And I think the Falcons got beat, right?
I
Maybe?
mean,
I don't know.
they're just bad.
Yeah,
They're not any good.
All right, we got that one. Big one, another big rivalry game here. The Bears are heading to Green Bay. Bears have been playing pretty well. Jordan Love's been playing pretty good as well. The Packers are favored by 3. The over-under is 44.5.
Justin Fields has been balling, kind of.
Yes, he has.
But so has Jordan Love. Packers aren't eliminated, right?
The Bears aren't either, I don't think.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
I feel like the Bears.
I like
that
there's no half there. Give me the Packers minus 3 at home at Lambeau. Jordan Love's been playing well. I'll take that.
Jordan Love has been playing a whole lot better than I thought he was capable of. I'm just going to take the points at +3 with the Bears. Any team that gets Justin Fields, if they give up on him, I think he has potential.
I would love for the Steelers to try and get him.
I would love for the Broncos to try to get him.
I wouldn't hate that, but
I'm also reading Atlanta is impossible.
I don't see them getting like a running quarterback like that.
I would love that. That's the game now.
If we give up on Kenny somehow and we get Justin Fields, I'd be all for that.
Justin Fields is
But I love
incredible.
Kenny still.
And I don't think Justin Fields has had like the best situation for his first couple years.
No.
So, I mean, stability means something.
Yeah, so the Bears had the first pick and they'll have like the 10th or something like that. So like they have a huge decision they can
I also
trade.
think the Bears are stupid if they don't just pair him back with Marvin Harrison Jr.
I agree.
I think you're out of
Harrison
your
Jr. will be gone.
I think why? You
No.
take him with the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think you just stay with Fields. I think you don't even
I think you trade that number 1 pick and hope Harrison falls to you.
Yeah, see,
Because you're going to get so much capital. You can get a good player.
I think you take Harrison at 1, trade the 10 pick, and use whatever you can get from the 10 pick to build you an offensive line.
True, but people overpay for the number 1 pick. Look at Bryce Young last year. Like, they overpaid for that number 1 pick, and now the Bears, like, they got the number 1 pick again.
You're not wrong, but I find it to be a 0% chance that Harrison Jr. gets the 10.
He will not get the 10. I'm saying, like,
Trade up.
Someone from 5
Trades back.
trade up
Gotcha.
to 1, and then you get their pick, and you just hope he falls there. If not, you take, like, Joe Alt, a tackle, and build your line.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Justin Fields is balling. I'm going to take the Bears +3. There's a lot of interesting storylines in the offseason when it comes back to teams and quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's so many teams that are playing with backup quarterbacks that are going to need either draft or make moves.
I
And
feel
good
like
for
even
these guys
more.
to like get their name out there and see what they can do.
Yeah, because isn't this class is kind of loaded, right?
This class is very
You're
low.
going to have Penix, Bo Nix, Daniels probably.
Drake May, Caleb Williams. That's 5 probably first-round picks.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's a couple like fringe first, second rounders that we're forgetting.
I tell you what, dude, if the fucking Broncos got Caleb Williams, it's a goddamn wrap on this fucking league. That's all I'm saying, dog.
I don't like him.
Yeah,
I just don't.
But you have to respect his game.
Like
you,
if
you don't have to like him.
If you get him, yeah.
Hot
be
take, I'm not
fucking
impressed
excited.
with him.
I said the same thing.
I've
a few
like
weeks
every
ago.
time I've watched him, I've just never like been like wowed by him. And like
What?
I just get like pouty vibes from him, and I don't love
Yes.
that from my quarterback.
The kid went off 1 year at Oklahoma and then went off the next year at USC, and you've never seen a wow game from him?
Yeah, but like I don't know.
I mean, I get
They're
the pouty
in,
vibes.
I don't know. They're
thing.
like in an air raid offense.
He
Like, he
hasn't-
puts up the numbers that you expect from that kind of offense.
He hasn't won like a big close
like
game.
like Herbert, didn't he do that? Isn't he like put up godly numbers in college? And like he puts up godly numbers now, and he's like not good. You can like put up numbers and not be good.
Yeah, but dude, again, I think we're forgetting
And
that
maybe
Sean Payton is the Broncos
And-
head coach.
hopefully he can prove me wrong. I'm just like I've watched them a handful of times, and I've never just been like blown away.
I mean, that's fair. I said the same thing to him. Everybody has a right.
And I'm
to their
also
own-
no
yeah,
expert.
No opinions. Like my personal opinion on Caleb Williams is that he's one of those quarterbacks that if put in the right system could be a generational S talent. I also think we're forgetting too, maybe not, but like I don't think Lincoln Riley's the greatest coach in the world. I think he got lucky taking over from Oklahoma to have that steam from Stoops, got guys in, and then as soon as he has one good season, he jumped and left and took a great deal at USC because he probably inwardly knows like he wasn't going to have a better season at Oklahoma than that. I don't think he's that good of a coach, but that's just my opinion.
And like he's got to play business from his side too. So like
Facts.
good move on his part.
Facts, I agree. I mean, in a contract, private jet.
I
that's insane.
I don't know. We can move on, but I just want to, I don't know, like Caleb Williams, I want my quarterback to like have the talent, but also like have a gritty mentality. And I just don't know if he's the quarterback that I would like.
Okay.
And
fair.
that's all.
What's going to hurt him is people are going to expect him to beat Mahomes
And we're forgetting about Bo Nix.
and Bo Nix. Yeah, Bo Nix too. They're going to expect him to be like Mahomes, which you can't expect that from the start, but that's what they're going to want. And to your point, did you see him crying in the stands in
I
his
did
mom's
see it,
arms? Like,
yeah.
I don't want to see that from my quarterback.
Yeah.
Do that wait till you're off the fucking field.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it, but like, you don't want a quarterback that's not afraid to show emotions in front of his guys. Like to me,
No,
that-
fuck 2024.
what?
People are all about showing your emotions, wearing your emotions on your sleeve now. Nope. I want you to bury that shit deep down inside.
Yeah, but dude, that's you showing your emotions. That's how you feel about the situation.
Yeah.
So like, again, it's like, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Like I think you should be able to show your emotions, but I also think you should be able to handle the backlash too, which is what people were given to him. I just think I don't know. Like I don't know. I just think Caleb Williams is really good. That's all.
If
Yeah.
he goes to the Broncos, you think he's going to paint his nails orange and blue?
He might, dude. He might.
He does paint his nails.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. What's the next game? 49ers Rams?
Yeah, we got the Rams heading to San Fran. The 49ers are favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 42.5.
Dang. Let's go. Rams are hot. I like Rams plus 3.5.
It's a great pick.
I like Rams plus 3.5 too,
It's a
but
great pick.
my pick is going to be, what is it, over 42.5. I'm just going to go with the safe pick there.
Points.
Points. Rams can put up points, they're going to be still playing all their guys.
I will be taking the Rams plus 3.5. Just because I think the Rams are good. Shout out the Rams. Last big game, boys. This is a big one here. This is granddaddy of them all. We got the Buffalo Bills heading to Miami to face the Miami Dolphins. This is a division winner game. I believe if the Bills lose, there's a chance they don't make the playoffs. This game is massive. The over-under is 50, a flat 50 burger. 6.
It'd look better if it was a 60. Dolphins are tough. Welcome to Miami, but it's January, so we will go Bills -3.
I'm going to go Dolphins +3 because that's just where my heart is. I want them to win, so the Steelers win and they're in, which will be crazy if the Bills don't make the playoffs. Like that's going to be a huge story. And it hurts Bradley Chubb just towards ACL.
Yeah,
so their defense is going to be kind of down, which he was playing in garbage time. Like the game was over and he was still in there and towards ACL. But just give me Dolphins +3 with my heart.
A man once told me never bet with your heart.
It-
I'm
it
taking the
always
Bills
fucks me over.
-3. Bills -3. Bills -3. I think.
Josh Allen get hot.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I agree. This is January. This is where the Bills start to shine. Historically, the Dolphins are eliminated by now. I think they're just happy to be here. I'm taking the Bills -3, even though I love McDaniels. I love Mike McDaniels.
You think Jalen Waddle's back this week?
No,
What was it? A concussion? What was it?
I don't know.
Let me look that up because he
Yeah.
was out last week and they just.
I
keyed
know.
on Tyreek.
I thought last week or 2 weeks ago. I think he went out with a head injury and then came back and then hurt his ankle. I don't know if it's still that.
Let's see. High ankle sprain, which is not good.
Right. So
That
I'm
can
gonna say
take,
I'm gonna say
like, a
probably
month.
not.
He might just try to suit up and just be a decoy, but he won't be nearly as effective if he plays.
Boys, that's it.
That's it.
That's the slate. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, we're already at a hour 12.
I feel like we have to mention McGregor and Chandler.
Yeah, we can.
Announced, but I don't know if it's officially signed.
I will never believe Conor McGregor fights until he fights.
But it is hilarious. They're fighting at 185, which Chandler normally fights at what, 155?
Yeah, 155. But I think he walks around at one. I think he was hoping it was going to be 170. But
Yeah.
also too, like, remember, it doesn't mean he has to get to 185. Chandler.
Oh, no.
He could still be at his comfortable.
He probably won't have to lose any weight.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a few pounds, but that's about it.
I'm just wondering if this is McGregor saying he wants to fight at 185. Because if McGregor wants to fight at 185, that could get kind of interesting because I would love to see Sean Strickland beat the shit out of Conor McGregor.
No matter who wins that fight, it's not going past round one. I don't think either of them.
McGregor's just in it for the money anymore.
Yeah,
That's right.
McGregor, he doesn't have a chin, I don't think, anymore, especially against Chandler, who just fucking throws. He doesn't care if he gets hit. But if McGregor can stay in there a while and catch him several times, he has a chance. But I would take under 1.5 rounds all day.
And I think Sugar's card is on our cabin weekend.
Is it?
I believe, if I check the dates correctly.
Oh.
And yeah, Michael Venom Page is making his UFC debut against Kevin Holland. That's the
when's
co.
that?
March. I don't know the. I mean, I think it would be March 22nd. Is the?
That'd be like 297.
Yeah.
No, it'd be 299 maybe.
I think.
Yeah, 299 March 9th. That's not the weekend.
Oh damn, that's early. That's really early.
So
That
yeah,
stinks.
I don't think we'll have any fights that weekend,
Oh well.
which they probably did on purpose.
Yeah.
With March Madness.
Yeah, because once I'm putting one more bet in. I got a couple small futures on Washington that I put in a couple weeks ago, so I'm just gonna let those ride out. I'm placing one more bet before the cabin weekend. I'm gonna pick an NFC team and an AFC team, bet them to win the Super Bowl, and then I'm locking it up until March Madness weekend. I have to.
That's smart.
Locking it up gets me more excited for that. WVU hoops, we can touch on it. Raekwon battles a dog. I think we can compete with everybody and anybody. It's just a matter of finishing games. That's how I feel.
I mean, if we had Jesse Edwards, it would have been. If we had the whole team all year, we'd be sitting really good right now. That's just not the case. A lot of shit's happened, and it's unfortunate.
Bad year, sad year.
Every game is going to be a battle.
But it's also cool that every game will basically be playing with house money if you want to bet on WVU, because you know they're never going to be favored.
Yeah, and
so that'd be fun.
Battle's averaging like 27 points a game.
Yeah, pretty
It's
good.
insane.
Pretty good. Trying to think. I think that's it.
That's all I got.
Six. You got anything you just want to say? Anything
No.
and anything you want to preach? Anything you got to get off your chest?
Nope, nothing.
No.
Nothing at all.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Very happy you stopped by. Brady, it's great as always. Very nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see Six. Follow me on Twitter, Brady_21_.
Well, you're going to have to close it out. You're going to have to do that again. We're just going to pretend you didn't do that yet because I have to get up and shut everything off.
Right.
Make sure to follow the Juice Box on YouTube. Thanks. Brady, can you close us out?
Follow me on Twitter, Brady_21_. Go ahead and place your WVU future Big 12 bets in football next year.